Hello folks, Kerem here again. Thank you for all those people that did view the last video about Liverpool versus Manchester United at Anfield. Hopefully I was wrong with that prediction, but thank you very much for checking the video out, and thank you very much for coming to the website www.agentdodo.com. Today's topic of discussion, like every pundit, everyone is going to be talking about the match on October the 23rd, which happens to be the Manchester Derby at Old Trafford. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video today. Manchester United versus Manchester City. 160 derbies overall, in which Manchester United have won 67 of them. Manchester City have won 43, and then there's been 50 draws between the two teams. One of the biggest points that everyone is going to be making in the lead up to this match is the fact that Manchester City so far have been undefeated this season. The only time they lost was against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and the whole Carlos Tevez saga that is going on. He's going to be going for a disciplinary committee and blah blah blah, and Carlos Tevez is in a lot of deep trouble. Manchester United, on the other hand, also undefeated this season, but one of the key differences between the 8 games that both Manchester clubs have played is the fact that City have not faced any of the big 4 teams, as in Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. They haven't faced any of those teams, whereas Manchester United have defeated Chelsea, have defeated Arsenal very badly, and have drawn with Liverpool. So if you look at that, Manchester City, the citizens have really not been tested so far this season, and everybody's thinking that if they have title aspirations and they want to win a title, since I think the last time they won a title was way back in 1968, they've only won 2 domestic titles, whereas Manchester United have won many, obviously 19 league titles that they have currently right now. So Manchester United, everyone is saying that they are defending champions. They have been able to bring it in the big matches, whereas Manchester City this season, although they've started with such a plumb, and they've done very well this season under Roberto Mancini, who's changed his mindset from defensive to a little bit more attacking. They've done very well this season so far, but they have not yet been tested. And another big stat that's coming away right now is the fact that Manchester United, in the last 25 games at Old Trafford, have only dropped 2 points. In the last 25 matches at Old Trafford, they've only dropped 2 points. So talk about a fortress that is Old Trafford. And I think in the last 14 derbies that they faced off at Old Trafford, United have won 9. They've drawn, I think, 4, and they've only lost once at Manchester United. I think it was way back in 2007 or 2008 when Manchester City were able to get a win against United at Old Trafford. Old Trafford is one of those places that last season they won 18 games, drew 1 game. And it's one of those places that is very hard for any team to come and get points. I was reading an article about Roy Keane, and his last quote was that I can never see United losing at home, but City will give them problems. Now to come down to the basics, what's going to happen? I think Roberto Mancini is probably going to be thinking a little conservative. He's going to be probably thinking that I need a point. If he gets a point from this, he'll be 3 points or still 2 points ahead of Manchester United at the top of the table. If he gets the 3 points, they're going to be at 5 points clear at the top of the table. And then they'll be having everyone chasing them at the top. That would be ideal for Manchester City and Roberto Mancini. The way I think Sir Alex Ferguson is thinking, he has to go out all attack. He was very conservative at Liverpool. He did not play Rooney. He kept Rooney on the bench. He brought him on late. They were lucky to get that point at Liverpool. Thankfully, Skrtel skied that one, and Henderson didn't really hit the mark with that one. So lucky for Manchester United that David De Gea, who I also mentioned would be important in that game against Liverpool, was on his game, and he prevented Luis Suarez from getting a goal against Manchester United at Anfield. Again, he's going to be a key figure, is David De Gea. A little more on that a little later, but I think Sir Alex Ferguson is going to go for the win. I don't think he's going to go for the draw. Even if he thinks conservatively and keeps Rooney alone up front, I still think with the wing play that we have for Manchester United in Ashley Young and Louis Nani, that we can get a goal to win it. You might remember the Community Shield. It was Louis Nani's goal in the 3rd minute of injury time that got the Community Shield this season for Manchester United over Manchester City. They won that game 3-2. I think Roberto Mancini is happy to have Nigel de Jong back. He's going to play Yaya Toure in the middle. He's going to have Silva and Nasri at the top. What I'm wondering is if he's going to play Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero has been very important this season. He's got 8 goals so far this season. He scored an average of 55 minutes and 30 seconds a goal every 55 minutes and 30 seconds for Sergio Aguero. He was on the score sheet again against Villarreal. He came off the bench and he scored a goal for Manchester City that gave them that win at the City of Manchester Stadium and against Villarreal in the Champions League. So Aguero could play. Is he going to play Balotelli, who's been a rich beam of form, especially in the Premier League, or is he going to play Edin Dzeko? Edin Dzeko did score in the Community Shield against Manchester United this season. So if he plays for Edin Dzeko, I think he's going to go for that lone striker role. He's going to keep it one up front. He's going to have Silva and he's going to have Aguero flanking Edin Dzeko. and he's going to have Nasri coming in the middle with Yaya Toure and Nigel Dijon playing just ahead of the defense. If you look at the defense of Manchester City, Vincent Kompany has been the anchor to that defense. He has had a great season so far. He's won all 15 tackles this season so far as a central defender. He has had 12 blocks, 9 interceptions, 8 clearances. That's what he's contributed to this City defense. So he's going to be very integral. Johnny Lescott will probably play a lot along as well, and he's very dangerous on corners, as we found out in the Community Shield when he scored that opening goal in the Community Shield against Manchester United earlier this season in August. So you think it's going to be Kompany and Kompany and Lescott in the middle. Gael Clichy might get a go ahead over Alex Korolov, and Mika Richards is going to be on the right. One thing that Manchester United, if we move to the defense of Manchester United, they're going to have Nemanja Vidic back, which is great. Rio Ferdinand was rested for the Champions League, so he did not play against the Romanian side. He will be ready to partner Nemanja Vidic for the first time this season in the central defense. If Sir Alex Ferguson goes for Phil Jones, then David De Gea is going to have a very busy time. We know that Phil Jones has been one of those defenders that has been gallivanting forward, that has been starting attacks, and therefore leaving David De Gea a little bit exposed at the back. Sir Alex Ferguson has told Phil Jones to take care of the defensive responsibilities before running for attack. We're going to have Smalling on the right, and you're going to have Ever on the left. Ever is always ready for a match, and he's going to be captaining Manchester United, I'm sure, unless he gives it back to Nemanja Vidic, which could happen as well. If Nemanja Vidic is playing to be the captain, that was a dumb point, but still, nonetheless, moving on, we don't have Rafael de Silva, so our right back position will be Smalling, and his height would be important, especially if Zeko is in there. If you look at the midfield of Manchester United, I think that Sir Alex Ferguson is going to go for Rooney as a lone striker up front with Chicharito coming from the bench. He's going to go for a 4-4-1-1. He's going to have a midfield of either Ji-Sung Park, Anderson, and Fletcher. If he gets a little bold, I would like to see Phil Jones coming in rather than Ji-Sung Park. I love Ji-Sung Park, don't get me wrong. I think he wins the ball every time we need him to. But I think this time they should go for a little change and have Phil Jones. I love the way Phil Jones played in the just ahead of the defense against Liverpool. He reminded me of an Owen Hargreaves. When Owen Hargreaves was on Manchester United and they were playing in the Champions League when they lost against Bayern Munich, I think it was, or the year before that, and Owen Hargreaves running in from the midfield to add as another attacker was just something that I really enjoyed, and I still think Phil Jones can bring that to the table for Manchester United. I hope Anderson has a great game. If you look at the midfields of Manchester City and Manchester United, I got a couple stats that are amazing. You think about David Silva and you think about Samir Nasri. From what the stats I got, you can clearly see that Manchester City like playing through the midfield. They like keeping crosses. They like keeping it very narrow through the midfield, whereas Manchester United like to widen out and play down the wings of Louis Nani and Gabriel Young. If you look at it, Samir Nasri has a pass every 2 minutes 20 seconds. David Silva has a pass every 2 minutes 42 seconds. They have had only 22 dribbles together this season completed, and they only crossed 22 times, only 22 cross completions. If you look at Louis Nani and look at Ashley Young has a pass completed every 4 minutes 43 seconds, and Nani has a pass completed every 4 minutes 25 seconds. They've completed 62 dribbles so far this season. They've had 57 crosses completed. So that's two different midfields. You know Manchester United are going to play in the wing. You know Manchester City are going to play in the middle. So if Manchester City is going to play in the middle, I see Sir Alex Ferguson clogging up that midfield with three midfielders in the form of Fletcher, Anderson, and either Park or Phil Jones to keep Manchester City very narrow and win the ball back and pass it down on the flank, on the flies, and Wayne Rooney coming up the middle in the front. I think Nani and Young are going to be very influential in putting crosses in, and Rooney's just got to be in his deathly finishing form. Remember that overhead kick that he had last season that was just stupendously beautiful? It was just so good looking. I was watching it again just for fun. Saved the video, watched it again on my computer just to see how wonderful that overhead kick was. Again, moving on to the keepers. The keepers are very important. Obviously, Joe Hart for Manchester City and David De Gea for Manchester United. He's one of my star players this season, no matter the negativity he got in the beginning of the season. I think David De Gea is going to be one of those goalkeepers for the future for Manchester. He's going to just be a rock solid. He's a future Spanish goalkeeper for sure. Iker Casillas better be looking behind his shoulder right now. David De Gea is the busiest keeper in the league. The reason they say he's the busiest keeper in the league, is that Phil Jones has not always been there to defend his goalkeeper whenever he's playing in the central defense. Although I love Phil Jones, I think he's doing amazing. He should get into the England squad for sure. His attacking prowess sometimes keeps the keeper exposed. He's got 58 saves so far this season, does David De Gea. 58 saves, one every 11 minutes and 39 seconds. Joe Hart has 33 saves, one every 23 minutes and 68 seconds. Both keepers have conceded 6 goals this season. David De Gea came at a rate of 9.6 saves per goal, where Joe Hart came at 5.5 per goal. I think Manchester City are going to attack in the beginning. Sir Alex Ferguson's probably going to keep it back and try to get him on the counterattack and play wing. It's going to be one of those matches that we saw last week where a little disappointed between Liverpool and Manchester United, very cagey, waiting for Manchester United to attack and get Liverpool, break down Liverpool a little bit. They waited a little too long and got very lucky. Hopefully they won't make that mistake again. I want to let you know another stat that I got was the fact that since Manchester City is doing so well this season, one of the major points that were lacking last season was the fact that they weren't winning matches against. They never won away from home against Liverpool, United, Chelsea, or Arsenal. So they haven't been able to win the big matches last season. Let's see if they change that this season. They need to win some games away from home. Away from home, they've been in very deadly form. 14 goals in 4 games away from home for Manchester City, with a goal average of 3.5 goals per game away from home. So that's pretty dangerous. If you look at Manchester City, they will score. David De Gea might just let in a goal this time. I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet, but I still think Manchester United have enough in the tank and that winning spirit and that never say die attitude to at least get a goal in the end. I'm thinking it's going to be 3-2 for Manchester United with Rooney and Nani on the score sheet again. Chicharito maybe coming in late to get a goal, but I think Nemanja Vidic has it in to get a goal as well. It's going to be one of those matches where it's going to be very tough for a United fan because we're going to see them sit back a little bit and just wait for the counter-attack. It's going to be good for Manchester City. They're going to come out strong. They're going to come out full of energy. They want that win. They want to prove that even though they've spent so much money, that they're still a team that is cohesive. Samir Nasri being in there is going to be one of those key factors for Manchester City. He is going to have a great game if he gets those passes in. And if Sergio Aguero comes off the bench, he's obviously in deadly form. So it's going to be one of those games where I think Manchester United fans are going to heart right over here in their throat, and they're going to wait to see if Manchester United can win this game. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, inshallah, Manchester United win. I'm thinking it's going to be 3-2 for United. It's going to happen tomorrow, the 23rd of October. That is my prediction. It's going to be Manchester United with a victory. They're going to get back to the top of the table by Sunday evening. 3-2 is going to be the final score, is my prediction. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stats. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video and you can hear me better. I'm probably going to get a microphone to talk a little much better and more coherently on videos. You have to check out my blog, www.agentdodo.com. Check out the Super Football Show on Geo Super with Ali, myself, and Mathira. We're going to be talking about this match on Wednesday at 9 p.m. It's going to be our 50th episode on the Super Football Show, so I'm really happy with the fact that it's been 50 episodes, mashallah, a half century for me on this show, as well as Mathira, and it's been a lot of fun with Ali on part of the team as well. Thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and you can catch me on the halftime show on Radio 1 FM 91 tomorrow at 8 p.m. Definitely going to be talking about the Premier League and the Manchester Derby and what I said in this video. Fingers crossed, United to win. Let's see what happens. You guys have yourselves a great day and have fun watching the match. Be safe. Bye.